This is the War in Congo Explained again. Again? Well, it seems as if there's no end in sight for this one particular war. We've had to explain it and re-explain it over and over again. You know, it seems as if there's no light at the end of the tunnel for the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Irregardless, let's begin. The short answer is 1996. But to give you some context, we have to go back to 1994. See, it all comes down to the Rwandan genocide that took over a period of 100 days, which resulted in the killing of 800,000 to 1 million people. This was a war that was between the Hutus and the Tutsis, two ethnic groups from Rwanda. The Hutu are the largest ethnic group in Rwanda, making up about 85% of the population. They also live in parts of neighboring countries like Burundi, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Historically, they were farmers and were considered the majority of Rwanda, 85% of the population. On the other hand, the Tutsi are the minority group of Rwanda, forming about 14% of the entire population. This was before the genocide. They've been historically cattle herders and have almost always been in positions of power. In fact, the Belgian colonizers preferred them over the Hutus. The tension between the Hutus and the Tutsis escalated in the 20th century, resulting in what we call the Rwandan Genocide of 1994. On the other side of the world, South Africa was gaining its independence. In the 1994 genocide, the Tutsi were the primary targets of the Hutu extremists who viewed them as rivals for political power and control over Rwanda. Many Tutsi survivors fled Rwanda to seek refuge in neighboring countries, and one of them was the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Tutsi led the Rwandan Patriot Front, also known as the RFP, led by the current Rwandan President Paul Kagame, launched a military offense from Uganda and ultimately ended the genocide, seizing control of Rwanda in July of 1994. While many Tutsi refugees who fled to the DRC were involved in organizing armed groups, especially the Hutu militias who fled to Congo after the genocide to regroup and pose a threat to Rwanda. During the early 2000s, tension between the Tutsis in the eastern parts of the DRC and local ethnic groups grew, with the Hutu population being there with the Tutsis. Along with Congolese ethnic groups, the Tutsis were starting to feel the pressure on both ends. So to defend the Tutsi community, Rwanda supported the formation of the National Congress for the Defense of the People, also known as the CNDP, in 2006. Why did Rwanda support the Tutsi communities? Well, because at this point, Paul Kagame had already taken over the government. Paul Kagame, who is a Tutsi. The CNDP was made of Tutsi fighters and was led by Laurent Kunda, a Tutsi general who had also previously fought in the Patriotic Army. The CNDP aimed to protect the Tutsis in DRC to counter Hutu militias, but it also sought some political power in the eastern parts of the DRC. So back in 2009, the Congolese government signed the March 23rd agreement with the CNDP, which was for the integration of the CNDP fighters into the Congolese army. The CNDP comprised of the Tutsi people that lived in Congo. This agreement was supposed to offer the Tutsis who lived in Congo some political rights. However, the Tutsis felt that the agreement was not fully implemented, and the Tutsi fighters felt that the promises that was made by the Congolese government were not kept. Shortly after the creation of the M23 in 2012, the M23 rapidly gained territory and seized Goma. One of the reasons why the Tutsis are so relentless in fighting and gaining territory over Goma is because there are a lot of minerals in Goma, and one of them is Coltan. Coltan is the same material that makes your phones, your laptops, your batteries. The claims that the Tutsis are making to be protecting their own is that they're not protecting anybody, but are doing so to seize the minerals that are found in the eastern and the northern part of Kivu in Congo. The only problem with this is that both locals, whether it be Tutsis, Hutus, or local Congolese people, are dying as a result of this war. Nobody is being protected. The only thing that they all seem to be protecting or wanting to take over are the minerals, and it seems as if they're using the people as an excuse to commit atrocities. So what are the civilians saying? The civilians are saying that they want the UN peacekeepers out. They want the Hutu soldiers out and they want the Tutsi soldiers out. They do not want any armies present, because at this point, the people that get to pay the price for this so-called protection and war is them. Unfortunately for the people of Congo, the Tutsis are not the first ones to make them suffer as a result of them being born in a land full of minerals. If you want to learn more about that, you should watch a documentary called Leopold's Ghost.